Variance Commission, September 10th, 2019, regular meeting. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Coker.
Here.
Leone.
Here.
Monterano. Norris.
Here.
Spain.
Public comments on any issues not listed on the agenda. Seeing none, do I have approval, a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, second to approve the minutes from August 13, 2019. Roll call.
Coker.
Yes.
Leone.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
New business, staff comments.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Wayne Pritchard submitted a citizen interest form stating his interest to continue serving on the Planning and Zoning Commission. And tonight the commission should vet Mr. Pritchard and then make a recommendation, make a motion for recommendation to City
Mr.
Council.
Pritchard, you want to come forward?
Yes, sir, Commissioner Wayne Pritchard. Yes,
What is your preference?
well, I would like to stay on. I've been on for several years, and I think it's important.
I think we would like you to stay on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Thank you so much. Mr. Coker?
Do we have to have a,
Do we have?
Yes, it's like a motion.
okay, do I have a motion
Okay.
to accept Mr. Pritchard's?
Yeah, I'll move we accept Mr. Pritchard.
I'll second.
Commissioner.
Motion made, second, roll call?
Coker. Yes. Leone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Norris.
Yes.
Staff?
Yes, thank you. David Favick has served on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yeah.
And he has submitted a citizen interest form to continue serving on the commission. So he's here tonight to speak with you.
Mr. Fabric?
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. As Wayne stated, I'd also like to continue on. I think we're starting to gel nicely as a group. And as you know, it seems like we have the full board, consistent board that we've had a long time. So I'd really
Thank
like
you.
to be a part of that.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make this motion.
No. I was wondering how that was
Motion is no.
Honest?
Honest.
Well, I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call?
Coker. No. Leone.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
How does that work? Is that right? You send that to city council, right?
Yes.
Right.
We had, what was the, two? Two or three?
Yeah.
2-1.
It's an approved motion.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Never.
Tough audience.
Okay. Moving on. A public hearing for T-Mobile number 2019 CUP 05, application for modification of a conditional use permit for the telecommunication antennas at 600 Prospect Street, Trinidad, Colorado. Anybody here to represent them? Please come forward.
Chairman, would you like to do the staff report?
Yes. Staff?
Thank you, John. T-Mobile received a conditional use permit in 2009 to allow a wireless telecommunication facility on the chimney of the Mullen Building at TSJC. This CUP was modified in 2014 and again in February of this year. This modification request is to replace 3 existing antennas with 3 new antennas. The new antennas will extend 2 feet higher than the height of the chimney. The location of 600 Prospect is zoned open, and the surrounding land uses are the college campus and some low-density residential land uses. The modification complies with the 2017 comprehensive plan in regard to 3 areas. The first being land use, as the proposed development helps to maintain the distribution of land uses by facilitating redevelopment and encouraging development that is adequately served by the city infrastructure in a cost-effective and efficient manner. The second is in economic development, as the proposed development provides an opportunity to maintain and expand on an existing industry in Trinidad. And the third is public infrastructure and services, as the proposed development maintains and enhances public infrastructure throughout the city. Public noticing of this hearing was noticed in accordance with applicable public notification requirements. The applicant has addressed the basic considerations for conditional uses in that it does not cause water pollution and does not create offensive noise, vibrations, smoke, dust, odors, heat, glare, snow storage problems, or other objectionable influences beyond the boundaries of the property to which such use is located. The applicant submitted all requirements for complete application and addressed all requirements of Article 8 wireless telecommunication towers and facilities. Staff recommends approval of the modification of conditional use permit number 2019 CUP-05 with the 8 conditions from the original 2009 CUP as listed in the complete staff report provided to the commission. And that's all.
Thank you. You can now come over and say your name.
Chris Stryker, 5754 South Kearney Street, Greenwood Village, Colorado, 80111, representing T-Mobile. As George had indicated, this was initially built in 2009. We came before you all in 2014, again in 2018 in February, and then now back again today to revise what our initial and proposed builds are. Now, in February, we increased that antenna quantity from 3 to 6. We now are reducing from 6 to 3. That was never built or constructed. We just found technology that we could utilize to reduce the number of antennas. So it will look very similar to what's there today. Quantity-wise, the antennas are slightly larger than what's existing.
Is the chimney does it do anything, or is it just a structure that was formerly the chimney?
Correct. I don't believe it's in use anymore.
Right.
It was in the 40s, I believe. The drawings that I pulled from the college were the mid-40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a peak system up there that changed.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, with the new system that you guys found to reduce the amount of antennas, is to make it more energy efficient? Is that something that was targeted? Just out of curiosity.
It would yeah, for sure, because we're not running as many antennas. So the 3, reducing it back to the 3, they'll take more capacity, but you're not operating 6 antennas.
Any other questions? Okay, sit down.
Okay.
Staff input?
Chairman, staff just recommends approval, including the 8 conditions from the original 2009 CUP.
Are they renewing, the intervals that he delineated coming before us were very strange, however, 4 years, where, is that just the changes that have been made, or are we still doing annual renewals of the?
CUP?
Yes, it's modification of the CUP because it's changed.
Okay,
So
right.
previously a conditional use permit was approved.
But there would be one every year. No.
Well, there would be review.
Review every year, okay.
But this is actually changing what was approved
Okay.
previously.
Okay.
He's asking for modification of that plan.
And the last one was 4 years, 3 years.
To go back to
Gotcha, okay, thank you.
Anything else?
No. Thank you.
Anyone in the audience to speak for or against this particular application? Not opposed to hearing. Commission members, discussion.
I think if we're reducing the amount of antennas, to me, that's a great thing. We go with an old chimney, less weight, a little bit taller, energy efficiency. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion? The motion shall include the 8 conditions that were previously.
Well, I'll move that we approve it. But I don't have the motion number.
With the 8 conditions.
With the 8 conditions.
With the 8 conditions.
Motion made, seconded, that it be approved along with the original 8 conditions. Roll call.
Who seconded it?
He seconded.
Okay.
I motion, he second.
Coker,
Yeah,
Yes.
Coker second.
Leone,
Yes.
and Norris.
Yes.
Moving on. City of Trinidad, Planning and Zoning Variance Commission, the Canica Company doing business as Canica Company 30019 Topo Drive. Staff.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Canico received approval of the above 6 stated conditional use permits, which were retail marijuana store, retail marijuana cultivation facility, retail product manufacture facility, medical marijuana center, optional premise cultivation operation, and medical marijuana infused product manufacturer. For the location of 3019 Topo Drive on September 12th of 2017. The business is fully operational in regard to the retail marijuana store and the retail marijuana cultivation facility. The retail product manufacture facility is targeted to begin once the proposed new building is completed. Construction of the secondary building as planned for in the application has not been commenced at this time, although the owners have indicated they still plan to complete the new building and expect construction to commence in late 2020. The operator submitted floor plans for this building that differ from the plans approved in the conditional use permit in September of 2017. Once plans for this new building are finalized, the operator will need to request modification of the conditional use permit from the Planning Commission prior to construction. Canico has made the business decision to no longer continue the medical marijuana center, the optional premise cultivation facility, and the medical marijuana infused product manufacturer. Licenses for these operations have been surrendered. City staff performed site inspections at the location, and their findings are: site plans are consistent with plans submitted in the application. Floor plans are consistent with plans submitted in the application with minor changes due to eliminating the medical marijuana center and creating a glass product showroom in this area. 61 security cameras are in place and operating. Security monitors and equipment are operating and secured within restricted access room. Product is secured in a locked room within a safe. Refuse product is destroyed per MED regulations, with 2 dumpsters are locked and picked up weekly. 4 air filtration units are in place and operating. Signage has been completed through the permitting process. All conditions of the conditional use permit approval are met. Staff recommends renewal of the retail marijuana store, the retail marijuana cultivation facility, and the retail product manufacture facility conditional use permits for another year, with the next review in September of 2020. Staff further recommends expiring the medical marijuana center, the optional premise cultivation facility, and the medical marijuana infused product manufacturer at this time. That's all I had, Chairman.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience who wants to come and speak?
Good evening. My name is Doug Genova. I'm with 3019 TV LLC and Canico. And I totally agree with the staff presentation of Ms. Clark.
You speak a little bit louder.
I totally agree with the staff presentation of Ms. Clark.
With our normal CUPs, you need to be in operation within the year, and I'm wondering how this, the CUP for the manufacturer can be postponed another 3 years. How we can do that?
We're not recommending, not
They don't want it.
requesting for 3 years.
No, but they still want to do the manufacturing, no?
I'm sorry?
You're trying to keep 3. You're giving away, you're letting go of the 3 medical.
Correct.
And you've got the 3 recreational.
Correct.
The third of which that's not doing anything is the manufacturing, because that's going to start when you start your building. The building is not set to open till the 2020.
Correct.
That's 3 years of being a CUP with no operation, and that's something that we don't allow in retail. So I'm kind of
If I
wondering how.
can make a point of clarification, unlike a lot of the other CUPs that we're kind of hanging out, we have applied for and been granted the licenses from the Colorado Department of Revenue, MED, and we've also been applied for and obtained licenses and paid the fees from the city of Trinidad, demonstrating that we are active in that use.
Okay. So how can you be active in that use if you're not going to be, you're not going to start doing that until you open the building? Because yeah, that was.
I understand your point.
Okay. So you're helping me
Yeah,
clarify.
and you know, we will build this building, and rather than go through the reapplication process, we would request the approval of this from the commission, if you could, please.
Staff, can we have some?
Staff, this would be a decision whether to expire that conditional use permit. That would be a decision of the commission. The staff feels that they are, have established these conditional use permits. The one is not operating at this time, but they have been moving forward towards establishing them.
I think
It's totally a
So-
decision of the commission.
I think it's not always a part.
So can I have the clarification between revoke and expire again?
Okay.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Well, I'm bringing this up as an academic point. I'm not recommending that.
No, I understand.
Okay. But yes, I don't really care about revoke or expire, but we just have to set a precedent because
Right.
we have revoked and expired CUPs for inactivity, and so we just need to. I mean, there's things that they have done to move forward, and we have to document those because he is doing things and moving forward in good faith. We have to address the 2020 and come to, I mean, I don't really want to do this with the, just part of a commission, but I mean, it's something I think we need to discuss because we need to have a
Would
policy.
it be a true statement that a lot of what we've done is when people have started and then there has been a cease and desist of work? And those are the, and correct me if I'm wrong, but those are the ones that we have actually went after. If I'm correct, he's submitted and paid the fees and done his due diligence, but there has been no groundbreaking yet, correct? And is that?
That's correct. We have maintained the licenses, both state and local. The licenses have all been approved, and we paid our dues throughout these 3 years. So
Okay.
it's not like we're not doing anything. You know, we maintain and are moving forward with the construction of this building.
Okay.
Anything else? So, the way I understand this, you want to give up your medical marijuana center, the optional premises cultivation facility, and the medical marijuana infused product manufacturing at this time. Is that
That's correct, Mr. Lino.
You guys understand that?
Yeah, I'm on board with that. That's.
And we voluntarily surrendered those licenses.
Okay, is there anything else that you would like to ask him, you can sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone here in the audience for or against this application?
Am I allowed to speak?
Go forward.
Good evening. I think, Jonathan, you were on point with it because we have expired them. I think the designation, correct, is if we're collecting tax revenue is one of the things we're looking at to see it as an established business.
Okay.
And I don't think it is an established business. If, again, you brought up the question, it's not gonna be built until 2020. It was they pulled the application in 2017, and we expired a lot of other applicants for paying their licenses and that. That's not part of making it a continued process, in my opinion. I think it needs to be tax revenue or the building actually being built. Whenever we continued somebody, it was somebody in the middle of a building halfway through the project. It wasn't built all the way, but we saw the walls going up, so at that point we're like, let's extend it.
All the work being done.
Exactly, but in this situation, there's nothing being built. Thank you.
If I may,
Yeah.
Come forward.
Yeah.
Canaco's been and makes tremendous efforts to be a good business partner with the city of Trinidad. We've demonstrated good faith in everything that we've done. We have no violations. We're an avid member of the community, and we would encourage you to take these items into consideration in your decision. Thank you.
I think I wanna say something. So, in all due respect, we as planning and zoning, we really tried to put our best foot forward.
I understand.
And it's not forcing the issue, but when we don't see the activity that is said is going to happen in a timely fashion, we are, I don't wanna say we're punishing people, but we're holding them to the wire. And
Accountable.
thank you. And that's, I think, we're lacking some people up here tonight, but everybody, I think, was pretty much on key where we have to start showing that we're not, I don't wanna say we're not messing around, but we expect, it's more than just paying for your licensing and that, cause Mr. Fabic was exactly right, it's about generating these tax dollars and all this, and paying a license fee is not generating us tax dollars. I think that's kind of like where the board is at. We want to see activity. That's what we want. We've done this time and time again where we extend and we extend and we extend, and nothing yet still happens. And I think we're just trying to get to that point where enough is enough. Let's get the party started.
You are aware of the amount of tax dollars that our company
And
generates.
and I'm not saying, no, I'm 100% aware of that.
Okay.
I'm 100% aware of that.
Well, we're not up here to worry about the financial part.
I understand.
We're not up here to do that. That's not our job. The financial part shouldn't even come into effect here. We're up here to kind of give everybody on the same plane, just like you said. And we have expired and we have taken when there's no activity. And what you're asking for here is another year with no activity.
Well, is that, cause we're in 19 now, what is your, when you come before us next year, is there gonna be a building? Or is there gonna be a building, cause he has been moving, by paying stuff forward, I think stuff's happening and plans have been called, he's got permits, he's set to go, he's got a timeline. It's just his timeline isn't matching up
Right.
with the timeline that it needs
Planning
to,
zone.
but if this is where you say something's gonna happen
Well,
by 2020, that we can.
this is, can I make a motion?
Yeah.
Can I just bring this forward, means that we're having discussion? between us three up here, you wanna delay this till maybe the next meeting, when we have a full board?
I'm good with that.
I mean, I'm just, that's,
I would feel,
Mr. Miller?
I would accept the decision of this board today, that would be fine.
would you guys like to make a motion on that? Staff, would that be our prerogative to do that?
Yes, you could make a motion to continue to the next meeting, if you would like.
I personally, I'm up for that, because I feel it's important that we have not that we're not capable, but me personally, I would like some of the other input of the rest of our staff.
That's also fine with me.
So I'll make the motion then. It's gonna, can I make the motion?
All motion.
Go ahead and make the motion. You have a second?
Okay, so we're delaying, 2017 RMS, RMCF, RP, MF for our next meeting. Second.
Which is the
We're
next meeting?
continuing the entire
Yes.
hearing.
Yes.
Okay, so,
To October 8th?
yes, I believe it's October 8th. Yes, it would be the October 8th meeting.
Okay, is that all right with you,
Sure,
sir?
sure, that's fine.
I know your time's precious too, but I think we can get a more level playing ground up here.
I understand completely. That's fine.
Roll call.
Coker? Yes. Leone?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, City of Trinidad Planning and Zoning Variance Commission, hearings for Organic Solutions, doing business, Main Street, cannabis. 401 West Main Street, Trinidad, Colorado. Staff.
Thank you, Chairman. Organic Solutions received approval of the retail marijuana store conditional use permit at 401 West Main Street on September 9th of 2014. The business is fully operational as a retail marijuana store. There are 6 full-time employees, all of which received training by management prior to working the sales counter. City staff performed site inspections of the location, and their findings are as follows. Site plans are consistent with plans submitted in the application. Floor plans are consistent with plans submitted in the application. Security cameras are in place and operating, a total of 14 cameras. Security monitors and equipment are operating and secured within a restricted access room. Product is secured in a locked room within a safe and in locked display cases. Refuse product is destroyed per LED regulations. The dumpster is locked and picked up weekly. Air filtration system is in place and operating, and signage has been completed through the permitting process. All conditions of the conditional use permit are met. Staff recommends renewal of conditional use permit 2014-RMS-22 for another year, with next review in September of 2020. That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you. Does anyone here in the audience speak?
Yes. Aaron Truling, gentlemen.
Mr. Sherman?
Okay.
Go ahead, bring us down.
We're just back up for our review here. We're just keep trucking along here and just I do business for another year. It's your blessings.
Anybody have to ask any questions?
I think
Like everything's.
everything, these
pretty
guys,
straightforward.
pretty straightforward.
You guys ready?
They always handle their business and fix any issues that might need to be fixed.
Okay, you can sit down.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Now
Wait a
we-
minute. Stop it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chairman, staff just recommends renewal of conditional use permit 2014 RMS 22 for another year, with the next review in September of 2020.
Is there anyone in the audience speak for or against this particular application? close the hearing. Commissioners, discuss.
As I
My
state-
opinion is a straightforward one.
As normal,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank
We
you.
didn't see anything that came up that was out of the ordinary. And, so, hearing that, or not have any more discussion, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made, do I hear a second?
I'll second the motion.
Roll call,
Coker,
Yes.
Leone,
yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Next on the agenda, City of Trinidad Planning and Zoning Variance Commission, September 10, 2019, Space Age Hydroponics. Staff.
Mr. Chairman. Dustin Murray and Penny Nobles received approval of the retail marijuana cultivation facility conditional use permit located at 601 Catalpa Street on September 11, 2018. This is the first review of this conditional use permit since it was approved. Planning staff inspected the location and found that improvements have not commenced at the location. The operators have submitted attached narrative to the commission explaining the current situation they face in regard to this conditional use permit. And that attachment was included in the complete packet supplied to the commission. And that's all I had, Chairman.
Okay, is anyone here speak?
Penny Nobles.
I'm Dustin Murray.
Introduce you, okay.
And this is an unusual situation in that our investor, basically hit his head in October. While he was still in ICU, he was asking his wife to see us, but we didn't want to do any plans while the man's in ICU with a head injury and has just come out of a coma. He was subsequently diagnosed with Parkinson's, which caused the multiple falls that he's had, cancer, and his wife has taken power of attorney. She's a pharmacist and does not want to proceed with this. This has come to light very recently, that would be the case. We're finishing a hemp project for them up in Larkspur that we went and worked as consultants for them. We're finishing that project up now, coming back to Trinidad full-time, of course. And we have a few different people that we've contacted about investing that are very interested in coming into town this weekend to meet with us, see the property, see our plans. And so we would really appreciate one more year opportunity. And, you know, if need be, I believe in this project so much that I'll go out and tear and level the land and put up a fence myself if I need to. I'm planning to, you know, basically start just financing it myself piece by piece as we go. So.
We started a hemp operation in Larkspur, and that was to be a segue for what we're doing here. We've got a really good hydroponic, state-of-the-art hydroponic system that uses very little water. And what we were going to do was create this hemp business in Larkspur and build and show this hydroponic system, which we did, and we had full support before we were even up and fully running. We've since harvested everything out, and we're closing everything down right now. So we've been in the process of moving towards doing this. We had expected to be building by the end of this year for sure. And unfortunately, we've had some obstacles to overcome. We do have people that are seriously interested in what we're doing, and we've got people from Africa, we've got people from California, we've got a lot of people that we've known for years that are interested in pursuing this endeavor with us.
And we had stopped, you know, talking to further investors once we had the gentleman from Castle Rock, and he's a banker in Castle Rock, a retired course. And so, you know, we had stopped talking to or entertaining other investors until just very, very recently. So now we're reamping that, and as Dusty mentioned, we do have a hydroponic system that we have been using for the hemp business. What we would like to do is, you know, maybe even baby step into that where we would be able to use that system and have that into place. This is something that we've given up a lot for and ready to do.
So, do I understand this, that you have a hemp business too?
We were working as consultants for a hemp farm up in.
As
up in-
consultants.
Right. Consultants, meaning we were doing.
We did it all
We ran
ourselves.
the whole
two of
thing,
us
yes.
did a whole, we had 20,000 plants.
For, you know, from
Indoors.
building the huge
Indoors.
shelving systems, we built the hydroponic system
But in
together.
that particular case, somebody else was doing the financing probably. Is that
Well-
correct?
Well, and they had been, this was, this gentleman's farm, the banker's farm that we've been working on, and we originally were to convert his farm into hydroponics, and then in return, we would have all that financing for our project here.
See, this-
So,
This
I
is the
know
same
it's
thing, puts us in the
unusual.
same position. When you haven't done nothing
I
for a year,
understand that,
we have to go along with what planning and zoning board is here for.
right, absolutely.
That's what we have to do. And in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, reading this, I understand the problems that you've had with his medical. But his wife is a pharmacist, is not in favor of marijuana, and she has
Power of attorney now, yeah, and so
So I don't
this
see-
is not a.
I don't see where there could be anything done,
We
other
have-
than if she gives up that power of attorney.
Right, we have further investors, that's why we're closing our dealings with them and the hemp farm and coming back down here full-time and, trying to secure another investor. We should have somebody in town this weekend looking at it.
Because, as I stated before, what we're here for is not financial, who's getting a financial benefit or
Of
whatever.
course.
We're here for what the rules have been put down for the planning and zoning commission to go by. And one of them rules is, if it hasn't done nothing within a year, it has to be, something has to be done through the planning and zoning commission, whether it's expired, revoked, or whatever.
And for me, when, I agree. For me though, so it is a misfortune that your investor had this happen to him.
Absolutely.
I feel for you and but for me, I think there's a fine line of communication, right? So there's problems, there's issues going on with your investor. To me, I think right away, we need to be communicating that right out the get-go, like we're in some issues. Because I see, me personally, I feel if there's a line of communication, the date on that, is there a date on that letter when it was issued? I have it.
We've
September 10th.
spoken with
We've been
Georgie,
in contact.
we've been in contact with Georgie, and when we've been in,
For how long? Can I ask that question? When did the communication part of this start? Like, okay, we're having issues with the investor, this is the situation. Because to me, that's part of this, you know?
Well, I would go, I mean, the issue, it would be nice to communicate the issue. When you received the initial, CUP, there are, there's the conditions that you were supposed to meet.
Right.
Have you met any of them? You want me to read?
No, we've not proceeded with that yet. I will say that we started this process about 3 years ago, when we came here and we bought, a property across from the Toyota dealership, I don't wanna call it the body of it, that's what everybody else calls it.
Right.
We've gone in and we put our heart and soul into this. We worked with the Colorado Parks and Wildlife for Prout Restoration Preservation and the city also stocks it, and we've done a lot for that area. And would like to continue to do that and invest in that area and continue to bring that area up. I mean, we really feel like we're on a mission for God in what we're doing here, and this is actually a springboard to what we really ultimately want to be able to expand and do, which is go to Africa and implement these hydroponic systems to grow food.
Well, and also throughout Colorado, because we do understand, you know, we have kids that need food right here, and we need, you know, there are food deserts close to us, and we want to implement these hydroponic systems in order to grow food as well, and to teach people how to grow their own food. It's a very simple system. It's a very water efficient. It's very energy efficient, and we really believe in our mission.
The local high school, a local pastor that's also a teacher at the local high school has interest in this as well. So we want to be able to also expand and help them to get a hydroponic system that works so that they can start utilizing that and teaching.
Teaching and feeding kids.
Anything else you want to ask?
I just want to say, I feel, I mean, I respect the fact that you went and you ventured, you had some type of deal set, doing another facility to help fund, what you have down here.
Yes.
But I do feel like even in that time, there should have been some best foot forward to start some type of process down here.
It's been very difficult, and the communication that we've had with them has been, the silence has been deafening. And basically he's lost his ability to communicate, and his wife just didn't want him to buy the farm for $1 million last year to do this. He was in a coma for 2 months. When he came out of the coma, he said it was because God tapped him on the shoulder and said there was something else that he needed to do, and this is what it was. So it has been very difficult, but the amount of effort that we've put into getting communication has been immense, and what we've gotten back was virtually nothing. And so we remained optimistic, remained positive, and maybe we should have just cut them off earlier. But there's just a lot of dynamics to this that go even above and beyond what we're trying to do here, and so we're trying to make the best of that.
Well, and also one of the things that we did while we were up there in building that system and building the shelving and building the different components that we need, we are being given the lighting,
We've got the lights,
shelving, the hydroponic system, and I would be willing to fund the fence and temporary building even myself. We put a lot into, again, the shelving,
we'd like to be
hydroponic,
building in 3 months.
yeah.
And I think that we have 3 really good opportunities to do that with 3 different individuals. I don't think that's going to be a problem at this point. We just need that extra time to move forward with it. And when we went to Larkspur, it wasn't to make money to fund this project, but rather just to prove the hydroponic system works. Because nobody else has got anything like it, and it's better than everything in every way. And I could talk an hour about that, but it was to prove that it worked, and it worked perfectly. We grew 20,000 plants, harvested. We did everything we said we did. We got endless, incredible pictures and everything to go with that.
And we do have photos on our phones of the grow there, and basically what we'd like to accomplish here.
I understand that, but what you're talking about a completely different,
Right, yes.
that's up there.
Well, it's all
This is
being,
here.
it's all being moved down
I
to
understand
here.
that.
Right.
Okay.
Anything else you wanna ask?
Let's see. If we were to give an extension of time, could groundbreaking, I mean, what could they do with 3 months?
Yeah, that would be,
That'd be outstanding.
But
Yes.
is that only based off
Right.
if you're gonna get, if
Yeah,
you're gonna
see,
get funding?
that's
I think
right.
That's our,
See,
that's our big word.
That's our big word there.
If we're
Well,
gonna get
but
I mean,
3
It's,
months.
it's been nothing but
That'd be
ifs for the
wonderful,
past
yeah.
3 years, and to get to this point, there has been no certainty of anything. And we were the first to get our license through Med when the law changed. There's been nothing certain about this, and how it's developed and
See,
coming
that's what
about.
we have to look at. The certainty.
The area that, what's appealing to me about this is the area
Mhm.
of town and the new technologies being brought in, and I could stretch 3 months and give them a short window to get some serious movement. If anybody else,
Mm. We would truly
They
appreciate
just came up last year, right? Was the first.
that's their first year.
This is the first
Yes.
review.
This is our very first CUP.
It was a year
A year
ago
ago.
Yeah,
that they
this is our first
received.
review.
Mhm.
And it took us quite a bit longer to get the conditional use permit than we originally anticipated too. The whole process has just gone a year further than we would have liked, and to no fault of ourselves.
So we're working and scrambling toward that.
We're
and
ready,
We
we just had,
love
we
Trinidad.
had a
and
hiccup.
want this to be here, so if you could extend that, then we
Anything else you
certainly
wanna ask?
appreciate it, sir.
All right, then, sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Sam?
I guess I would just like to reiterate that it was just a year ago that they were approved for this conditional use permit. They do have control of the property, and they have gotten their medical, or, I'm sorry, their state licensing on that. But it is totally your decision. Should it be expired, they could apply again. They would have to do it, the same plan over again and come before you for approval of another
I see.
conditional use permit.
Right.
So-
Is there a queue to get it, I mean, are they gonna lose, that matters, but is there a queue of?
We can't worry about that.
Yeah, okay.
You cannot, that is
Yeah,
in
that-
our
okay.
realm.
Good, okay.
I told you guys that before, that's not on our realm.
Okay.
Can I speak again? Can we speak again? I just wanted to add something real quick, is that okay?
Sure.
What's that?
Could we just add something real quick?
Anything?
You're
wants to
just
add
gonna-
He wants to come back
Come on.
up and, yeah.
We have put a lot into this, and we're gonna continue to put a lot into this. What makes us a little bit nervous is that we finally get everything ready and come together, and then for whatever reason, we're basing that all on renewing the condition, or having another conditional use permit, and there's no certainty for that for us. So the risk we take is that everything we've done and everything we put into this and getting everything ready to come to that point, and then that not come about. So obviously, we feel a lot more comfortable if we had an extended amount of time, so that we can base everything we're about to do with investors and everything we're gonna do to move this forward, and have a good sense of security about the ability to actually have that conditional use permit to do it. Because
Okay, I would also like to add that, you know, during the time that we've lived in Trinidad the past 3 years, that we've cultivated relationships with the different dispensary owners and with the different business owners, to the point that they have even contacted us, you know, in the past few months going, do you have everything in place yet? Because there's a shortage. And so each dispensary that you go to, it seems like they're really short on products.
we've got a lot of other plans for edibles, a lot of things I won't go into, but we've definitely got whatever products we can produce sold.
absolutely. We have,
Tenfold.
no, we have verbal
Right.
commitments from
Right.
people. Thank you for
Thank you.
letting us
Thanks for
have
your
that,
time.
thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion here? Yeah, okay, before we go. Okay, staff input? Any more staff input?
I have nothing further.
Anyone in the audience to speak for or against this particular application? Now to close the hearing. Commission members discussion. In my opinion, I know this is their first review, but it seems like to me, there's no control over any financial part that they will have. They're going by assumptions. And his wife has the power of attorney. She is not in favor of marijuana. That's why she halted the project. Maybe the project would have went on if she wouldn't have been on that particular instance. We have no responsibility for any kind of financial responsibility that they put into it. That ain't up to us up here. We don't even think of that. Whatever financial problems that exist, that's between them and their financial people. That's my part.
I agree with your statement. But with that said, I know we've tried to change that fact, but we have sat here and we have watched some of these projects go year after year after year. And we have made a statement that we're not messing around anymore. I guess if I can use that term, that's the term I'd like to.
We're here to do what planning and zoning is made to do.
Correct. But I also feel that if we were to give a small extension, nothing great, I don't wanna say a year.
No.
I would say if we gave a small extension, give that benefit of the doubt, as they've only been, a year's a year, we all know it. But I'm okay with granting them an extension to make that honest effort. Because the fact of the matter is yes, anybody that we have revoked can come back and then reapply. I think a small extension is not far-fetched, in my opinion.
I like the way you're going with that one. On this one, because they have just been in the system only a year and they're getting started, I think that, I think we could do a small extension with stated that, that things have to get moving. Or.
I noticed, are you done?
Yeah, finish.
I noticed that staff didn't give us a recommendation on this. And so, one of the reasons it wasn't your recommendation is because
Pressure, Jordan.
on account of the time limit.
Did you want a response? Were you
Yes.
asking me for a response? I did leave this to the commission in the past. There's been numerous projects that were not completed within the year. And, so I know there's been a recent emphasis by the commission to stick to that 1 year timeframe.
Right.
But I figured I would leave it up to you because you are weighing all these decisions.
Anything else?
Good catch, because I did not catch that.
What's that?
I said good catch, because I did not catch that.
Yeah. Oh.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh.
All right, anything else? Close the hearing, okay. We have to have a motion here before the board. And you can have a motion to either expire, you can have a motion to extend it for, Nova set for 3 months with conditions we can make up here today, tonight, or we can have a motion to expire.
Chairman, there couldn't be any additional conditions
There could be any
placed on
additional
it.
conditions, okay.
Yeah, just the original conditions, but you could extend it for a period of time, and then you would reevaluate it based on the original
Alright.
conditions of the CUP.
I'll make a motion to, grant a 3-month extension.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Coker,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Leone.
No.
Thank you, Chairman.
You wanna tell them their options?
I'll send you notification of the
Thank you.
review.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make it happen.
We're doing this.
Okay, moving on. City of Trinidad Planning and Zoning Subverting Commission, September 10, 2019, Emerald City Willingness LLC, doing business as Emerald City Willingness. Staff.
Thank you, Chairman. Chris Harris received approval of the above stated retail marijuana store conditional use permit on June 28, 2016 for the location of 520 Nevada Avenue. The Commission held a public hearing for the annual review of this conditional use permit on June 11th of 2019 and renewed the permit for a 3-month period. Emerald City Wellness LLC has completed all inspections required for licensing, which was issued on August 28th of 2019. At the time of this writing, the operator expected to have product in place and open for business within the next couple of days. The city staff performed site inspections of the location, and their findings are as follows. Floor plans are consistent with plans submitted in the application. Security cameras are in place and operating. Security monitors and equipment are operating and secured within locked closet inside the office. Refuse will be removed to the 123 Pine Street location, which will have a secured dumpster. Marijuana products will be secured within a locked safe overnight. The air filtration system is in place and a maintenance log is being implemented. There is currently no signage for the business, but the owner will comply with the sign permit process prior to installation. Conditions of the conditional use permit approval are met. Staff does recommend renewal of conditional use permit 2016 RMS 09 with the next review in June of 2020. And I'd also like to add that following the writing of this staff report, I did receive another message from Mr. Chris Harris on September 5th. And he said, Georgie, all I am waiting on is the final police inspection. I've got to call into the police chief for scheduling. It could be as soon as today, depending on when he can come. We are technically open as we have the license from the city and passed all other inspections and have product in the store to sell, but you cannot sell until they inspect with the products in the store. You met my manager from Colorado Springs, who will run the store, training our new employees until they are qualified to operate independently. As for the report, I would just say there is all required licensing completed and product in the store and just awaiting final police inspection in order to be officially open. So that's all I had.
Okay. I'll open the hearing. Is there anyone here present to speak for this particular application? Come forward and state your name.
I'm Christopher Harris with Emerald City Wellness LLC, DBA Emerald City.
What do you have to present to us?
That we are open as per our requirement of our last extension. The chief police bypassed doing our inspection. He'd already been out, so I got a call from Courtney shortly after I sent the email out and said that that he wasn't gonna come out, that he'd just do a random inspection at some point down the road. And I brought a copy of our manifest, which showed our delivery of our product, and a picture of it on the shelf in the store, so, and also a copy of our licensing, like the authority has that in the city.
With the supplied copies of the licensing
Yes. You
report.
want any of that?
Sure. This is a copy of the license is provided.
So this is, yours is the model where you grow, you like to sell what you grow in your product, and your grow facility wasn't gonna be ready, and this is your retail facility, so you put product in there, but you haven't opened the
He
door.
gave me received a 3-month extension for the retail store,
Okay.
to have that open, and a 6-month extension to show progress on the building at 123 Pine Street in a 6-month time frame. So this is a 3-month extension to have the store open.
Jody, is it standard that they can open up without having that police inspection? They can.
The
They
police
can do
were
that.
out numerous
But-
times. I think
Just a general question, just for my knowledge, that's all.
I think generally they do go out and take photographs of the product in the store. I have no information about the police chief with that regard. I know usually they do go out and they do photograph, but he had been out and inspecting the premises and all, so.
As I understand the process from Audra, is they do a pre-inspection to issue the license that the city gives, so they go in, look at all your signage, look at all your cameras, your DVRs, all the security systems to make sure you're acceptable to receive product. And at that point, there's 4 inspections, there's a health department inspection, there is a building department inspection, city police inspection, and a fire inspection. Once they get approval from those 4, the city's allowed to issue the license that I have a copy of there, and then the police just wanna come by, but, he said he'd bypass that and just do a random inspection at some other point in time.
Okay, sit down.
So when do you plan to actually open the doors?
That's open.
They're open?
Yeah, we've already
Sold.
hired our first employee. No, we
All right.
he didn't make a day or 2. Yeah, we were doing training, so technically my manager's down to do the training, and the first guy, didn't make that, so.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Staff, input?
I have nothing further.
Anyone in the audience speak for or against this applicant? Close the hearing. Okay, gentlemen. Just come through ahead of time with this. What he was supposed to do,
What he was asked.
and what he was asked to do. He has his license. He has his product.
Got the doors open.
Got the doors open. Need a motion.
Motion approved.
I'll second.
Had a motion and a second. Roll call.
Coker,
Yes.
Leone,
Yes.
Nurse.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you in 3 months.
Yeah. How's Pine going? Is that,
Pardon me?
isn't Pine, in that building, that street, the sewer and all that, isn't that a mess?
We've done a substantial, we replaced the line out to the sewer.
Yeah.
We're in the phase of getting ready to pour all the concrete to cover the sidewalk out back up, but we had to dig out through the front where the clean out was, replace the line, sleeve it all the way through back to the sewer. There was a big, they had settlement actually that was in the street section. They had put a crack in the pipe, and in order to run it down, so we had to clean all that out and then re-sleeve it, take out the broken pipe that had collapsed on it, and been a good time.
You slip lined it?
Huh?
You slip lined the pipe?
Except I had Dean with, yeah, I forget what his name, he's the, one of your local plumbers here, has done all my work for it, so. I have my other partners who's usually here, he monitors most of the construction stuff, so that's my understanding of what they did. They may be a little different than what I explained to you, but I have him here when we have the construction questions on.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, thank you.
Okay, moving on, I'm gonna go to staff for the training. What's your recommendation on this?
Chairman, I
Did you find this
did
insurance?
not get anything together tonight, knowing
You know,
that we
a
would
couple
have a
of
very
those.
short group, so I'd
We put
ask
on
that
this.
you just skip the training for tonight's meeting.
Okay. Reports?
So I don't have a very long report here. I just wanted to talk with you about a couple things. So Chairman, David Fabic and Wayne Pritchard will, I believe it's on the 17th of September, they'll go to City Council. And City Council will choose whether to seat them on the commission. So by our next meeting, we will know the answer to that. And I'm just trying to think what else. I'm sure you've all heard that we've had, the city manager has submitted a letter of resignation that the city council accepted. Mike Valentine is, agreed to be the interim city manager. So he, he'll be in charge, so if you have any questions that you would have taken to the city manager, it would be Mike Valentine temporarily. And, at the next meeting, I hope to pick up some training again, or some discussions about.
And what's that
some
gonna
of
be, the next
things.
meeting is what?
Next meeting will be October 8th.
Can we go to city council meetings? If they're not talking about planning, zoning stuff, just for general interest?
You can go, and I would say even if there was something that, let's say we had a rezoning, and it comes to the planning and zoning first, and they make a recommendation to city council, and so then it goes on to city council, they make the final decision. Even in a situation like that, I would think you could go and observe the meeting, because, city council, it's moved past you then. Now, the reverse does not work. The city council does not come and observe your meetings, because so many things do go on to them, and they have to, remain impartial during their public hearing time.
The way I understand it, you can go to any city council meeting and just observe.
That's,
Right.
yes. You're free to do that. The only thing we would ask is that you not talk with them directly about an upcoming, application before them, or, a hearing
Right.
that's coming up before them. And just let them proceed as they see fit, so. So next, meeting, I believe we'll have the 7 members, and we'll do a little bit of training. I just kinda wanna, at that meeting, just go through discussions. We've been doing a number of the ethics ones, and kinda just get an overall, view, and
And I
maybe
think-
set some policies.
Go ahead, George.
And just maybe set some policies of that, we'll discuss that then. I know it's difficult, it's been difficult this whole marijuana process has been an experiment from the very beginning of starting, and there's been changes, and staff has learned to, make changes and adjust to things. I think it's a really hard situation when there's been some, applicants like Emerald City Wellness, that it's been a number of years to get that open. And then there's the difficulty with the newer ones that have only been, had their approval for a year to get started. Some of the, projects are much more massive than other ones. Some of them, they've got a building they can go into, make a few adjustments and get it open. So I understand the difficulty in reviewing all these and making decisions, I truly do. And I appreciate you all putting your thoughts forward and being here to make these decisions, because they are tough.
Well, I think we appreciate your input too, because you're the one that brings us here and gives us this information.
I
And I think we
try,
appreciate that. The only thing is, I think we have to get down to our year deal. It seems like we keep on discussing what we should be doing, and then we turn it around and go the other way.
Right.
We have to stick, you two.
I know,
I mean, we have to stick to
But-
what we're gonna stick to.
but those guys, I mean, some guys get
Yeah, but you can't
lots
think
of
of
years,
that.
but
yes,
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
the tough
as,
part, that's the tough part.
I mean, we have to stick
We've
to what
watched
we.
it.
yeah, we know we do, and
I understand that. I mean, I'm on board with it.
I mean, we shouldn't even be up here then if we just,
well, and that's why, I mean, 3 months was, I mean, we gave Emerald 3 months, so it's only
Yeah.
fair that we gave these guys 3 months. These guys deserve 3 months.
but these guys have
Emerald
been
didn't.
given money.
What?
Everyone have been given some money on their
Yeah.
other application, on their others, right?
Yeah.
This is nothing,
Right.
zero.
I think,
What do you mean,
As
like,
we're-
are we giving money like how?
The taxes and then.
The taxes
Taxes from what?
from their other ones that they
Yeah.
had. They gave up 3.
No,
Right?
they only have.
oh, you're mixing up Canico and.
Yeah, right,
Evans.
that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, cause Emerald is the one on
Right.
Pine Street.
Right,
and-
right, right,
and
right.
that.
Yes,
And so,
Canico has
you
been
know, that's been
taxes.
on,
Right,
that's been
right.
an ongoing thing, so.
That's why
I
we gave them
felt-
the 6 months.
Yeah, I felt no
Right.
sympathy there, like, get it going, get it open, get it done. You know, and, cause we all said it, we all drove by there and you don't see nothing
No,
happen,
right.
right?
Until
I drive by
afterwards.
there every day, every day I drive by there.
Well, this last one that they just put product in, the Emerald City, that was, I mean, he put product in and he did it, they're open, I mean, he hadn't sold anything, he fired somebody. He hadn't even
I
been
know.
open to business, you know, I mean,
And then after you see the picture,
yeah.
there was 4 jars there, guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty lame, but.
4 jars.
I think as we're moving through this process of reviews, we started, consistently in 2017 reviewing these. And I think we've expired a number of them. As we move forward, we will be able to get to that 1 year, to where we hold it to 1 year.
And I believe that, and I do believe, and I hope I didn't cut you off, but I do believe that the talk is, it's gonna spread that planning and zoning is not messing around. If you're gonna do this, then do it.
Mhm.
If you're not gonna do
Right.
it, then don't apply. You know, you ready to jump in
I agree.
all the way in, not just part of the way. It's not just about having a business plan, you gotta have action. You gotta take action. If you're gonna go for it, then go for it. At the end of the day, I think
That's
we're
it.
starting to set it. I feel like the planning and zoning is starting to set that precedence, and that word is gonna get out.
Mhm.
And if it's not already getting out.
And I think you've observed the amount of applications really diminish over the last couple of years. For a few years there, they were just constant. The commission was holding 2 meetings a month to try and deal with all
Right.
the applications that they were receiving. And we are still gonna have a few coming up, but
And then-
nowhere like what we've been.
And then the
through
ones
in
that
the
did
past.
come in, before we were starting to set this precedent, they were keeping it, wasn't doing nothing. They'd keep them, about the time that you were ready to bring them forward, they'd sell it.
Mhm.
Sell that permit to somebody else.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they did, see, they had that permit, we did take it away from them, because we weren't doing that. They sold it and cashed in on the money. City of Trinidad didn't make anything with that.
Right.
But that's all I had for tonight.
All right.
And thank
Hey.
you all.
Okay, thank you.
Commission members, anything, other than what we just talked about?
I think we had a pretty eventful meeting for only 3 of us. I think we earned our pay. In fact, I move we double our pay.
0-0 or what?
Yeah, 0-0, yeah.
Have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Adjourn. Thank you, guys. I know there's only 3 of us, but
Hey,
we did a good job. We did all right, I guess.
yeah.
Do I have to sign anything, Jordy?
Yes.